Okay, once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone because I don't know when we'll open this video presentation. In this particular moment, I would like to introduce to you to Module 3, which is entitled Fiction, Character, and Setting. So you often hear people talk about the difference between character-driven and plot-driven stories. Do not worry about that for the moment. Simply understand that every narrative begins with its characters. So what are the characters? Characters would simply mean to whom the events in the story happens, or people in the story that guide you through the plot and settings. We have also type like fictional character, which is being created by a writer using only a few thousand words. Imagine that, few thousand words. We have also the real person, which is a product of millennia of hereditary, centuries of culture, and a lifetime of experience. Okay, so if we differentiate the meaning of fictional character and real person, there is really a big difference, okay, based from its definition alone. Okay, that real person is a product of hereditary, culture, and experience, wherein that is not involved in the definition of fictional character because fictional characters are just imaginative characters, okay? It is a product of our imaginative thinking and minds. Okay, so let's remember that characters are not real people. So character can be major, which is usually given much development, more conflicts to resolve, more background story, and usually more action. While when we say minor character, they they served a certain purpose to move a plot. Okay, so we have seen the difference now of major versus minor character. Let's take a look, or let's give emphasis to the literature Nolimi Tangere. Okay, so who are the major characters there? We have one Crisostomo Ibarra. We have also Maria Clara. And who maybe are the minor characters that you know? So maybe you're thinking of Capitan Tiago, Doña Victorina, or brothers Crispin and Basilio. So those are just vivid examples of major and minor characters in Nolimi Tangere. Okay, characters also can be simple or complex. Okay, E.M. Forster's in aspects of novel, we have flat, okay, flat character or simple. We have also round or complex. Let's now proceed to the difference between the flat character versus the round character. So flat characters are easily recognized by your emotional eye. Constructed around a single idea or quality, while round characters have the capacities to surprise you in a convincing and even inevitable way. They are richer, deeper, more complex, more mysterious, more unpredictable than flat characters. Actually, in successful stories, all characters want something or are driven by something. Flat characters want only one simple thing, like Sisa wanted her children. Doña Victorina wanted social acceptance. While round characters, in contrast, want something complicated. We have Crisostomo Ibarra. Did not just want revenge after his father was denied a Catholic burial, he also wanted to fight against social injustice in the country under the Spanish rule. And look at Padre Salvi, who was said to be strict and would not do anything that will dishonor his reputation, but was secretly lusting after Maria Clara. Okay, those are just examples of how we approach round characters and flat characters in the story Noli Me Tangere. Let's now proceed to Fry's mode of fiction. So while on the subject of character and fiction, you may want to know what Herman Northrop Frye, 1912 to 1991, said about the modes of fiction. So Frye was a Canadian literary critic and literary theorist who wrote the book Anatomy of Criticism to help categorize works of fiction. So basically, Frye said that there are 5 categories of fiction based on the hero's power of action. These categories are the following. Number 1 is myth. So it is where the hero is a divine being with an ability that is superior in kind to other people and to environment, of course, and to other people. Okay, example of this is Lam-ang or Hercules. So that's the number 1 category of fiction according to hero's power of action. The second one is romance. So this is the story mode where the hero has a marvelous actions, but who is identified as a human being with an ability superior in degree to other people and his environment. Let's think of Labo Dongon of Hinilawod, Odysseus, Superman, Robin Hood. So those are the examples of characters under heroes, which is categorized in fiction according to Frye. And the third one is high mimetic. This is a story mode where the hero is a leader with an ability superior in degree to other people, but not to his environment. The hero has authority, passions, and powers of expressions far greater than others. But what he does is subject to both social criticism and order of nature. Think of King David, Achilles, King Oedipus. So those are the example characters under high mimetic. The fourth one is the low mimetic. This is the story mode where the hero is one of us with an ability that is superior neither to other people nor the environment. Think of one Chrysostom Ibarra, Willy Loman of Death of a Salesman. Okay, and that is Chrysostom Ibarra is in Noli Me Tangere and Willy Loman is in Death of a Salesman. We have the fifth and the last, which is the ironic. So this is a story mode where the hero has an ability or intelligence inferior to ours. So we often have a sense of looking down on a scene of bondage, frustration, or absurdity. Think of Juan Tamad, Mang Kiep Nguyen, and Charlie Chaplin. Okay. Let's also consider Lirio by Peter Solis Neri, translated from the original Hiligaynon by Celia F. Paracon. So I will be sending this to our GC, and I want you, of course, I want you to answer the follow-up questions I will be sending later on. Okay, let's now proceed to the setting as symbol. So every story has a setting, but how important setting is in your story, only you can tell. In older stories, setting is like a painted stage backdrop against which the story plays out. So you can change the backdrop and it probably won't change much of the story. In contemporary storytelling, however, setting is given a little more important. For some writers, setting is a time or period when your story happens and also has a major influence on your setting. So Philippine prehistory will provide a setting completely different from that of the Spanish colonial times. The martial law days are the first decade of the third millennium. Props. Okay. So this is an aspect of the setting that you should also consider. If you make an effort to put an object in a story or scene, your reader will believe that such an object has some importance, relevance, and consequence. Okay, from the colors of the dress, kinds of flowers arranged in the vase, book the character is reading, beverage she or he is drinking. In other words, objects carry emotional weight and may often appear as clues. Now, let's now proceed to the evocation of time and place. You can easily engage your readers into your story by using a familiar setting. But in the same manner, you may also lose your readers if there are gaps and glitches in your evocation of time and place. For example, although the first selfie photo may have been taken in 1839, it was not until 2012 that the word selfie was really used. And while a crude selfie stick was first improvised in 1925, it was not until 2014 that it became widely used. So if your story is set before 2010, it cannot really speak of selfies and selfie sticks without irritating your smart readers. So to make your story setting more real and familiar, do not forget what is happening in your story's environment. Like you need to consider to inject references like cultural atmosphere, sociological background, political climate, and religious and historical milieus. You don't have to dump all the information at once in one place, but you may sprinkle them all over your story where they may be appropriate. Okay, details like this can enrich your story and make it more credible and relatable. Okay, essential learning. Stories are about events that happen to people. In fiction, you call these people characters. You can create characters from the combined powers of your real life observations and imagination. Your characters may be round or flat, depending on their capacity to change and surprise your readers, and may be major or minor, depending on the amount of space and attention that you give them in your stories. You can develop your characters on the page by showing and telling how they looked, how they act, what they feel and think, what they say, or what others have to say about them. All stories happen somewhere at a given time. In fiction, you call this the setting. You can set your stories in real time, or the now, or in history, and in real geographic locations, or you can have completely imagined settings like the future or prehistory, and imagine worlds like another planet or a world of wizards and goblins, or you can even combine all of this. Your biggest goal as a writer should be the creation of stories with unforgettable and exciting characters and relevant settings that have the capacity to entertain and surprise your readers. So if you want an inspiration, so just read the whole stories in the Bible because you can really have many lessons to learn, as well as you can have the context in understanding why life is like this as of now. Okay, I am requiring you to at least read a chapter from your favorite book in the Bible so you can have an inspiration while we move on to the next category or lessons of our subject, creative writing. So God bless and have a good day listening and reading this video presentation.